Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are across the world. Welcome to another episode of Live a Phenomenal Life Show with me, Madame Merola. It's so good to be here with you on season 5, episode 26, where we're going to be talking about mastering active attentiveness for effective communication. So, welcome, guys. Hello to you on Instagram. Hi to the viewers on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It's great to be here on another motivational magical Monday with me, your host, Madame Merola, the bank creator that ignites the beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece in you. So, how was your past week? How was your weekend? How are things going with you? Are you enjoying the month of April? Let me know as you log in, say hi to me. It's always good to be able to know who is joining me live. Hi, does I hit feet on Instagram? Thank you for joining me. So, as you're joining, say hello. And I would also want to acknowledge all the first timers on the show today, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube. Let me know if this is your first time joining me live on this show, Live a Phenomenal Life. Okay, so as we get started, I don't want to take too long today because of the fact that I have other commitments as well. So I'm just going to give you a quick view of what I want to talk about. So today I'm only going to share one affirmation with you all. Okay. So the affirmation I'm sharing with you is the same one I shared on my social media feed, which is doors of opportunities are opening up to me. Doors of greatness are opening up to me. And I am blessed in every way I can think about. So, doors of great opportunities are opened up to me. Doors of greatness are opening up to me. And I am blessed beyond measure. What are your own affirmations that you're speaking this week? Because you have to speak the words that you can believe and walk in. Okay. So, affirmations are good and therefore speak them anytime you want, not just in the morning. You can speak them in the afternoon, in the evening, anytime you need that extra boost of positivity around you. Okay, so now one word for the week. What is your one word for the week? Share with me. Okay, I would love to know. Okay, I've got Jay Baz Events joining me on Instagram. Hello, welcome to Live a Phenomenal Live Show with Madame Merola. So, right now, I've already shared the affirmation. I want you to share with me what is your one word for the week that you're going to hold on to. My one word for the week is courage. Okay, because right now there's so many challenges that I'm facing, and I need the courage to keep on pressing in, to keep on going forward. So that's why I have my one word for the week to be courage. What is yours? Share with me, okay? One word for the week. Sorry, it's a little bit wobbly. Okay, one word for the week shared. All righty. So as you're joining in, please know that I love interaction. So please put your comments, your thoughts, ask questions as I go through the topic of today, and invite your friends, invite your colleagues, invite other people. Share this video with them. They can watch the replay if they're not able to watch it right now. But one way that you can also encourage me and support what I do is by sharing this video with others, because this is the fifth year of this show going on. So we have over 200 episodes, and I have never charged a dime for this show. So please do me the courtesy and the honor of just sharing this video with somebody else that you believe will benefit from this video. Yes. So one word for the week is courage, and our affirmation for today is doors of great opportunities are opening up for me, and I am blessed beyond measure. Okay. So now, topic of today, for those of you that are just joining in, the topic for today is mastering active attentiveness for effective communication. Mastering active attentiveness for effective communication. So, for those of us that know a little bit about effective communication, okay. Sorry, I'm getting a message saying trouble streaming to LinkedIn. I'll just ignore it for now so that I can talk. For those of you that have had a little bit of training or some work done on effective communication, you know that we talk about the different elements that embodies what effective communication entails. So we say effective communication is when there is a successful delivery of the information being passed from the sender to the receiver, whereby the person understands what has been transmitted. So the information can be in terms of images, can be in terms of the words you speak, can be in terms of written form. It doesn't matter. What matters is that the information passed across has been successfully received and understood. So the first thing is sending it, the second thing is receiving it, and then understanding it. So if you receive it but you don't understand it, effective communication has not taken place. So one thing that I have begun to understand as well as an effective communication trainer and someone who teaches effective communication, who practices it and lives it all the time, is that there is one element that we're always lacking at, and that is active listening, right? So many of us think that the first thing you need to do well to be an effective communicator is to be able to speak well or write well. And I dare say no, that the most important thing is to be an active listener. There is so much benefit in being someone who actually can listen to what other people are saying, to be able to discern the information, and then to be able to ensure that the person knows that I'm listening to you and I want to ensure that I'm getting what you're saying. So you rephrase what they've said, and then you get confirmation that I hope I got it right. And the person can say, oh, yes, that's what I meant, or no. So many times we presume we understand people. And that's why communication can be so simple yet difficult for many, because when we are using forms like written form and things like that to communicate with others, we lose a lot along the way. So the way you word some things, some people might not understand it, or they might get the wrong impression. So hence why I always say that, look, the best way to communicate with people is by actually ensuring that there is a feedback between the two of you. So when you say something, ensure the person understands what you've said, the way you want the message to be transmitted, so that there is no disparity in the communication between the two of you. Okay. So when it's even with a larger crowd or with a group, it's even more difficult to be able to ensure that everybody's on the same page with you. Hence the reason why you need to understand effective communication. So while we're talking about active listening, another thing that comes into play is the fact that many people are hearing, but they are not actively listening. Hearing just means being passive. So in a day, we get bombarded with so much sounds. So all kinds of sounds that permits through your ears to your system are all hearing. Okay. So whether it's the sound of the alarm, the sound of the phone, the sound of other people talking, it is most times a passive act. It's not something you're intentionally doing. It's just because your eardrums are functioning, right? So you are hearing things. So you need to move from just hearing to actively listening to what people are saying. This now is an intentional act, okay? It's no more just a passive thing. You now say to yourself, I must be intentional about listening to what other people are saying and ensuring that I'm understanding them. And in case I don't, I have the permission as well to be able to ask questions and clarity of whatever the person is saying. Yes, active listening, Sebi, absolutely correct. So I'm reading some comments before I continue. Michael says, so true, Madame Merola. Active listening is essential in effective communication. Yes, sir. Okay. So I have a little bit of notes for you guys today because, I sometimes bring out the teacher in me. So I think it's always good to be able to just, show you guys some things, and then you can screen grab it and go back to it for your own use later. So what is active attention? Because active attentiveness comes from being someone who gives the full attention to a task or to another person. So when you say you are practicing active attentiveness, it means that you are completely zoned in into doing one singular thing, listening to whoever is speaking, focusing on the task that you're doing. And in this case, we're talking about communication. So it's about listening to what somebody else is saying to you at a particular time. So, right now I'm speaking to most of you. I can't see you, right? But I've got my screen here to let me know that, okay, I'm supposed to focus and hone in here. So I can't be distracted and looking left, looking right, or someone else is talking to me as I'm trying to speak to you guys and let you guys know what I'm trying to share with you. I'm going to be getting distracted. I will lose my train of thought. I might not be able to also flow easily whatever I'm doing. The same thing for you guys. You might be distracted by your phone pinging at the moment. You might be distracted by someone just walking into the room. You might be distracted by a foul smell going through. So when you say that you're practicing active attention, it is when you give your full attention to something. It's when you say that, okay, you know what? Right now, for this moment, I'm not going to do anything else except pay attention to what this person is saying. And that is so much more difficult than you can ever imagine. Many of us think it's easy, but I dare say that it is one of the greatest challenges that we have in this world that is full of constant distraction, full of so many things trying to vie for our attention, full of people always also wanting to pander their own needs and their own wants for us. So there's so many things trying to take away our attention from things that we're trying to do at specific times of the day. So when you're listening to someone as a master communicator, one of the things that you can bring to the table to help you increase your level of active listening is what I've termed active attentiveness. Okay. Active attentiveness. How many of you have been talking about this before or always wondered why there's such low attention span right now and that it's affecting all of us? All of us. And that if we're not intentional about it, we'll just find out that it's so hard to focus on one thing or one person or listen to someone in such a way that the person actually feels like I have this person's full attention. Okay. So that's why I said that being attentive is a discipline. It's not just a habit, it's not just something that you can just do now and then. It is a discipline. Okay. You must be intentional about concentrating all of your senses, meaning your sense of sight, your sense of smell, your sense of touch, your sense of hearing. Everything must be concentrated on that particular thing you want to focus on right now. Otherwise, distraction galore is going to take you away from being the best attentive person you can be at that point in time, either to the person that is communicating with you verbally or even while you're texting. Oh my God, isn't that the worst? Like when you are trying to have a text chat with somebody and other messages are flooding your phones and other things like notifications from other apps are getting there. It takes discipline for you to be able to say no. I'm having a conversation with someone right now via text, via SMS, whatever it is, and I'm going to be attentive to this person for the next 5 minutes, for the next 10 minutes. And you probably even tell the person, hey, you've got my full attention for the next 5 minutes. So let's do this. And you know what? When you tell someone that, you also tell them that you demand the same from them. So they can't be distracted. They can't be multitasking and doing things, multiple things at the same time. And I believe that society somehow has taught us that the more prevalent you are, the more proficient you are in terms of being able to do so many things at the same time, the better off you are. This was one of the things that people used to use as tools of efficiency to say when you're able to do so many other things simultaneously, then you're able to get the bigger bang for your buck for your time. And then we're finding that I know it's not helping us. We women are normally get at trying to multitask, do this, cook, listen to this, do that, attend to children at the same time. And we find that at the end of the day, we're just worn out because many times we even miss out key elements of things because we're trying to do too many things at the same time. So we've begun to see that there in multitasking because your effectiveness is not as great as when you just hone in and focus at one thing at a time. And then you're able to give your very best to that thing. It is truly a game changer. And it's so different and way better than you trying to do so many things at the same time. And at the end of the day, you are not doing any of them to the best of your ability. Okay, let me check some of the comments. Oh, Hi, Kemi. Thank you for joining. That's my darling daughter. Thank you, sweetie. So, now let me share with you some of the benefits that you get from actually becoming an attentive listener. Okay. So, being an attentive listener has certain elements. First of all, let me just tell you that one of the key things that attentiveness brings out is that it displays at its highest form empathy. When you are able to tell somebody, look, you matter right now. I want to give you my full attention. You are the most important thing to me right now. I will say that, look, that is the best thing you can do for someone, that you know that I care about you. I care about whatever it is you want to share with me. I care about whatever it is that you're going through that you want to tell me. And I am giving you my complete attention. Okay. So, attentiveness actually displays the highest form of empathy to someone to say that I am here for you. In this world where many people are troubled, there are many things going on, the people facing all kinds of, issues, whether it's personal, professional, health wise, whatever it is, to be able to let someone know that, look, I actually care about you enough to give you my time and give you my full attention. That is just divine. That is absolutely amazing. And it's something we all should strive to do more often. Okay. So, one of the things I want to share before I talk about the benefits is the element of attentiveness. So, for you to know that you are being attentive, check that it is active. It's something that you're actually intentional about. It's something that you're aware you're doing. So it cannot be active attentiveness when you are not even aware that you're doing it. When you're not aware that you're doing it, that is passive attentiveness. So that means you are just doing it because that person is in front of you, that person is talking to you, and whatever, but you are not fully giving that person your attention. So it's always active. You're intentional about it, you're deliberate about it, and you're fully aware about it. Number two is that it's always thorough. You're always saying that, am I listening and understanding what this person is saying? You're making sure that all your five senses are engaged. You're listening. You're also trying to comprehend what the person is saying. You're feeling the emotions at the same time. That's number six. You're seeking for understanding and feeling the emotions, feeling, the underlying things that they're going through that are probably not saying with their words or with their body language. So that's number six. Number three is listening and noticing. So that means you are also observing, right? Observation is very key in attentiveness. That means that you're observing what's going around you about that person. So the way the person is being fidgety, the person doesn't look confident, or the person is, hiding tears behind their eyes, all manners of things you can notice, okay, while you are being attentive. Number four is picking out and discerning. So being able to understand that that person's tone is not necessarily an act of attack, but it's maybe a show or burst of repressed anger, and they're just trying to let it out the best way they know how. So being able to say that, okay, I'm not going to take this personal, the person's tone is a bit harsh, all those kind of things, and discerning the mode in which the person is talking to you or communicating with you will allow you to be able to make the best out of transmitting the information that you're receiving. And then, of course, number five, which says observing and questioning, you know, asking questions. When you do not understand, seeking clarity is by asking questions. And also, for you to be able to draw out more from the person, you ask them some specific questions that will allow them to be able to share more of what they want to communicate with you per time, per season. Okay. So that is one of those are the six elements of attentiveness. Always active, always thorough, listening and noticing, picking out and discerning, observing and questioning, and then number six, seeking and feeling. What do you gain as a benefit when you are fully attentive to what somebody's saying, doing, or trying to communicate to you? Number one, attentiveness touches our deep longing for connectedness, whereby all of us are seeking intimacy. All of us seek to be heard. All of us seek to be understood. All of us want to feel validated, valued. And we do that by showing attentiveness. So when you practice active attentiveness, you actually let someone know that, hey, I want to connect with you. I want you to know that I feel that what you need to say, who you are as a person, is greatly valued, and that I want you to know that I also understand you. So it's so important. Hi, I am Forge. Welcome, John Forge. So that was one of the benefits of being an attentive person. As I said, if it's not active, you are not going to be able to get all the full benefits of being an attentive person in communication. Number two benefit that you get from being an active, attentive listener is that it helps you to discern which words and actions will best fit the uniqueness of each situation. When you're listening and giving someone your full attention, as I said earlier, you can tell what the person needs the most. Whether the person just wants a listening ear for them to vent whatever they're going through, whether the person wants you to give them words of wisdom or advice, whether the person just wants a supporting friend to say, hey, you know what, this is what I'm going through, and I wanted to share with you because they're looking for a release valve of their pent up energy, anger, and frustration. By being attentive, you'll be able to deduce correctly what to do and what to say at that particular time that fits that best situation. Okay. The next thing that you can do or gain from being an attentive person is that it makes our communications living and responsive, capable of situation specific creativity. This simply means that you're able to respond in a way that shows that it is real time. So it's not something you've premeditated. This is what I'm going to say to this person whenever they're done. You're able to creatively come up with the right words, the right action to suit whatever that person is trying to pass across to you. So it is very, very important for us to be attentive. Number four is that it helps our communication experiences to be richer, more meaningful, and fuller. There's nothing better than when you know somebody's paying attention to you, somebody's hanging on to every word you say, the person is truly understanding you, and the person is vibing with you in a way that really touches your heart. It really makes a huge difference than just having conversations that are shallow, conversations that don't really impact us or that doesn't really touch us or doesn't leave a lasting impression on us. We want to be able to communicate with people in such a way that is meaningful, it's impactful, and also it can influence them for good and make them feel better at the end of the day. So when you're able to communicate with someone and you leave them better off than they came, you've done something absolutely wonderful. Another benefit you get from being attentive is that it makes every interaction an opportunity to learn or grow. Everything in life comes from experiences. And some people's experiences are so unique that you might not be able to experience it for yourself, but you get to learn from it by that person sharing their experience with you, sharing what they've gone through with you, sharing some of their knowledge with you. And it allows you to grow as a person. You become someone who starts to understand different elements of lives that you yourself have never come across. You understand different culture. You start to understand different aspects of things that people are going through in life that might never be part of your own direct experience, but it's something you should be aware of because it just makes better for you to be able to say that, oh, you know what? I haven't gone through this, but I have a friend or I have a colleague that actually went through something similar. And this is what they did, or this is what they shared and stuff. So it just makes you feel more rounded, more complete as a person, that you're not being insular. You're learning from other people's experiences. You're learning from their wisdom. You're learning from their life's lessons and even their failures. And you're growing as a person, not just as an effective communicator. So those are the five benefits I want to share. Obviously, there'll probably be some more, but those are the five key ones I wanted to share with you about why you should be an attentive communicator and even practice attentiveness as a lifestyle. All right. So merely desiring to be more attentive is not enough. You have to cultivate it. And anything that you cultivate obviously takes time. It takes deliberateness, okay? It takes, you being committed to it. When you say you're cultivating your farm or something, it means that you're constantly there to water it, to pick out all the weeds, to nurture it. So nurturing, cultivating that habit of saying that I am going to be an attentive person. Whenever I give my time to someone, I'm going to make sure that that person feels the full weight of my attention for whatever period of time that I'm giving to them. And it's something you must do. And how do you start to do that? By learning to be silent. Yes, silence. There is so much power in calculated silence, knowing when to speak, knowing when to give someone else the time to share what they want to share, rather than being quick to always be the one to speak. This can be so difficult for some of us, especially those of us that are public speakers or speak for a living or like to talk a lot, the people known as talkatives and stuff. Choosing to be silent can be the best gift you can give to someone, whereby you allow them to speak, to share, to open up, and let whatever it is within them flow out. But when you're not giving them that gift of silence and you're always talking, you do not allow the other person to also have that moment of feeling important enough to speak their mind, to be able to share what they want to share with you, for them to be able to release whatever emotions or deep gripe that is within them. So, silence is one of the best ways in which we can help to start to become more attentive. Okay. So, how do we cultivate active attentiveness? Right. I said I wasn't going to go too long today. So, I'm being mindful of time. Number one, make question asking an art. So, as I said before, seek out to draw out ways in which people can say more than what they even intended to say and really share with you the deep truth of what is in their heart. And this comes by being very, very good at asking insightful and thoughtful questions. Okay. So, learn to ask questions. The more you ask someone questions, the more they have room to speak, right? So when you are silent, actively pay attention, actively listen, and then ask right questions, thoughtful and insightful questions at the time to allow that person to keep on speaking and sharing from whatever it is they want to share about. Number two, eliminate distractions. So I said it already that multitasking is one of the banes of attentiveness. We cannot be attentive if we're doing too many things at the same time. It removes and also reduces our level of perception, so passivity. So you need to always pay attention. Anytime you say that I want to do something, eliminate distractions, so switch off the TV, put your phone on silent, whatever it is around you that can be a form of distraction, get rid of it so that people know that you are fully attentive. Okay. And it also shows how serious you are about listening to that person. All right. Number three, involve your whole body. Yes. Attentiveness requires you to be still sometimes, to be able to look at that person eyeball to eyeball, actually communicate if you are looking at them, and if it's on the phone and stuff, you know, to be able to shut out all the external noises enough for you to be able to say, this is all I want to listen to right now. I want to be able to have all my five senses totally geared towards this person. And then my intuitiveness, and I'm able to also discern at the right moment what to say. This helps us to stay focused and engaged. So you are not, flipping around on another phone or trying to do something else at the same time. Involve your whole body. Let your body be directed towards that conversation, towards that person, and towards whatever you're trying to do at that moment, so that you are not distracted, and also other things around you doesn't make you look like you are not paying attention. Because when your eyes are shifting left to right, the person might think, oh, something else is gaining attention or his attention right now. So that's why we say use your whole body. When you're looking at someone eyeball to eyeball, the person knows that, hey, they're fully focused on me. Nodding your head at appropriate times when the person is speaking shows that the person is still with me and not just moving on. So you know how it is, right? When men most men that are married or are in a committed relationship say that, when my woman is speaking or whatever, I'm just nodding my head. I'm going, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, but they're not paying attention. And then sometimes, they're just trying to listen to the tidbits, because when you say, "Are you listening to me?" Yes, 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 I'm listening to you. You said that you bought that red dress and it didn't fit, and you asked them to change it, and they didn't and they so you just try and say little bits of the conversation. So you phase in and you phase out, because you're like, "Oh, I don't want to get caught if this person asks me, are you listening?" And then I'm like, sorry, I wasn't listening to you. So that is a typical example. You're reading the newspaper at the same time, or a magazine, or checking messages on your email while listening to a conversation. It's not going to work. Tilt your body towards that person. Let the person know that you're fully engaged. If you can even make a touch at point in time to let the person know that, hey, I'm with you, I'm feeling you. Excellent. Just show that you're focused and engaged in the conversation. So another way you can also continue to cultivate attentiveness to confirm what you're listening to is by seeking, just say what you think the person has said and repeat it, and then ask the person, am I on the right track? Did I get you? Is that what you said? This is a form of active listening where you ask for confirmation of what you think you've heard. Okay. And it ensures that the person knows that yes, I'm understanding what you're saying. And in case there's some disparity, then the person will say, oh, no, 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 that's not what I meant. This is what I meant. So they can actually clarify what they're trying to say. And then everybody's on the same page. So this is something that many people do, and they call it mirroring. So, whereby you say what the person is saying back to them in your own words, so that the person knows that you're listening and understanding what they're saying. Okay. Number five is learn to see. Okay. This is whereby we begin to open our eyes of understanding more, to see beyond what the person is saying, and then to express whatever we observe about the person. So you're able to say that, I noticed that when you were talking about this particular thing, especially when you were mentioning this particular part, that you were choking up. And obviously, that must be something that is probably a painful experience for you to relieve, or something. Just let the person know that you're really paying attention and you're taking observation of some of the nuances and some of the other things that are also going on around that person and within that person. So gain knowledge that would enable you to see more about learning people. So learning about people is so important about attentiveness, because you also get to know that, oh, this person has a very quiet demeanor. This person has, a very vibrant countenance. This person has, a shy disposition. You get to start to notice things that you probably didn't notice before. You say, oh, this person has a very sensitive spirit and can easily be riled up or offended by things that people say that are not very, very nice. So these are ways you begin to see more about people that you didn't know about them before, just because you're paying attention, you're noticing things, you're giving them every part of your senses that is working and active at that time, and you're beginning to make more traction with them. Okay. So let me read some of the comments before I go on. Okay, learn to speak. I said learn to see, not learn to speak. So I hope you got that. Mudukwe, it is learn to see, gain knowledge that will enable you to see more. Okay, so those are the five different ways I believe that you can start to cultivate being an active, attentive person whenever you're communicating with people. When you're talking to your clients, this is something you can practice by listening to them, getting to know more about them will allow you to be able to serve them better. If you're in a relationship that is an emotional one, like you're in a love relationship or a familial relationship, paying attention to your family members, paying attention to your loved ones, paying attention to your friends is the best gift you can give to them, because when they're talking to you, when they're communicating with you, they want to be seen, they want to be valued, they want to be heard, they want to be understood. And this is the best way you can do that. You might not be able to communicate with them all the time, but when you do have the opportunity to, make sure you practice some of these five steps that I've shared with you. Confirm what you've heard from them, which is mirroring. Learn to see and express what you observe, you know, distract, eliminate all forms of distraction, involve your whole body, and of course, ask a lot of intelligent and great questions that are very thoughtful. Okay, so I've got some more comments. Let me take that before I round. Gain knowledge always is the best in life. Absolutely true, Mudupe. Absolutely. We can never stop learning in life. It's just something that we have to do over and over again. Okay, so the more you discipline yourself to be actively attentive, the easier it will be to do it without thinking, whereby it becomes second nature to you. So, as I said, just like how all habits are formed by continuously doing something, is the same thing with active attentiveness. And as I said, it is not something that we can do if we're not intentional about it. Active attentiveness requires us to be intentional, to be fully focused. Okay. So you must discipline yourself to say, and you find yourself sometimes your mind is wandering. And that's how you can call yourself back again to focus, to say, no, your mind is wandering. You're beginning to think about, oh, I need to go do this. I need to go and do that. And then you've lost what the person is saying because your mind is wandering. That's why I say it takes discipline. It's just like meditation. When you're meditating, sometimes you find yourself wandering in thoughts, you find your body itching to move and do other things at the same time. That is normal. So that's why you need to discipline yourself. You need to continue to cultivate this habit to the point whereby it becomes second nature to you, that when you choose to focus on something, when you choose to be attentive, you'll be able to get it right. You'll be able to do it without it being a strenuous activity. Because for some, it's like, oh my God, the most difficult thing on earth to tell them to concentrate and be attentive for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for an hour. It is difficult. Many students nowadays are struggling to be able to be attentive for an entire 1 hour class. Why? Because their minds are always wandering. They can't even listen to what the teacher is saying for 1 hour. People attend seminars, trainings, and they struggle to stay attentive to whatever they've been taught. That is why we all need this discipline. That's why I said that it is important for all of us, whatever level we are at, to be able to understand that sometimes it is not even you, the one that is speaking, that needs to learn to be attentive. It is the listener, the hearer, the student, the learner that needs to practice active attention all the time. So I am a coach, and one of the best things that you can give your clients is the gift of active attentiveness. When you're actively attentive to what your clients are saying in a coaching session, you'll be able to gain more insight as to what they need, because you're really, really listening to them. And then you're able to ask insightful questions. You're able to also give them the tools that will be necessary and useful for them. So whether you're a parent, whether you're a husband or a wife, whether you're a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whether you're a friend, a sister, a coach, a teacher, an educator, no matter what you're doing in life, active attentiveness will help you to be able to foster better relationships with people, whereby you can connect with them on a deeper level and be able to actually show them that you consider them someone valuable enough to take the time to learn, to study, to see them, to hear them, and to understand them. Attentiveness is a potent commodity that can dramatically increase our capacity for influence. So once you're able to show people that you find them to be valuable enough, you might be able to gain some kind of leeway with those kind of people. You'll be able to have so much more benefits with them, that sometimes some people use it for selfish reasons. So we need to be careful that the power you wield by being someone who is a master communicator that practices active attentiveness can influence people in such a way that they want to do more for you, they want to spend more time with you, and don't use such opportunities for your own selfish intentions. One person that walked on this earth and really modeled active attentiveness was Jesus Christ. When Jesus Christ went through his ministry for the 3 years that he did it for, He was always actively attentive to the people around him. He listened to their cares. He listened to their words. He asked them questions. Do you want to be made whole? You know, asking them questions, sharing insights with them, caring for them on a deeper level that was purely out of love and not for selfish intent. We must be able to know that we can be attentive to people and not seek to get anything out of it except just wanting to show the highest form of interaction, which is empathy. Okay. And as I said, real attentiveness should only have one source, and that is a sincere concern for those with whom we communicate. No ulterior motives, nothing else apart from the fact that you want to be attentive, to be able to give the person the gift of time, the gift of empathy, the gift of true depth of communication and connectedness, so that that person knows that they've been seen, they've been heard, they've been understood, and they're also being valued at the same time. So, being an active, attentive person is not a technique that you learn, it is a lifestyle. It is something you do to be able to foster through connection, through communication. Okay. So I hope this has helped you guys to be able to understand what it requires for you to be an active, attentive person, how you can cultivate the habit of it, and the ways in which it can benefit you and benefit the person that you're also gifting your gift of time, of your attentiveness to every single time. So, yes, connecting with people at a deeper level to show that you care. Yep. Empathy. All right. So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope it has been of use to you. The replay will be available just in case you want to be able to go through it again. And please share it with others as well. This world is hurting right now. People are hurting. People really, really need the gift of attentiveness right now. And it will just be a wonderful thing that we all learn to cultivate this habit every single time so that we can all learn and also gain from it. Because if you are attentive to other people and other people attentive to you, hey, it's a win-win situation, isn't it? So those are the things I wanted to share with you today on Live a Phenomenal Life Show, Season 5, Episode 26, about mastering active attentiveness for effective communication. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you guys will continue to stay positive regardless of the challenges that you're facing. There are lots of things that are bombarding us right now, hitting us left, right, and center. But you must stay proactive and positive. As I said, my one word for this week is courage. Courage to keep on pushing through, courage to keep on believing, courage to keep on being the best of myself, courage to keep on even opening new doors of opportunities and stepping out in faith, because sometimes fear can overtake us and we might think that, oh, right now might not be the best time for me to do this or whatever. Just have courage, be courageous in all that you do this week, and just keep being the best of yourself. Keep believing in yourself. Keep filling yourself up with the things that makes you happy, that fills you up with joy, and also allows you to showcase the best of who you are per time, per season, and also as a communicator, so that your words are seasoned with salt and honey. The words you speak to people edifies them, builds them up, lights them up rather than makes them feel less of who they are, depresses them, or makes them feel like, that they are not worth anything. So it'll always be someone that shares light, that speaks positive, and be the best of you 100% unapologetically. Once again, my name is Madame Merola. I am known as the bang creator that ignites the beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece in you. I am also an image and personal branding specialist, a total transformational coach. So if you are looking for a coach that will help you to be able to find out elements of yourself that are still hidden, to bring it to the forefront and start to showcase yourself by owning your genius, I will be the best kind of coach you can get. And you can contact me either by going to my social media feeds on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, or you can go to my website, www.madamemerola.com, and reach out to me and ask me about some of the coaching sessions, packages that I have And I will be able to tell you the best one that will be suitable for you to be able to help you to become a profitable, prominent, and powerful personal brand that you deserve to be. Okay, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate those of you that have been here. Sebi, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Mudukwe. Thank you for all those that have stayed to watch on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. The replay will be available, so share with other people as well. And let us continue to give the gift of active attentiveness to the people around us because people really, really are dying to be heard, to be seen and understood. And above all, let's just continue to share love wherever we can because love is the greatest gift of all. Take care of yourself. Be good to you always. Mwah. Blessings and bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Madupe. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Bye.